Hello and welcome to True Guidance Tarot. I'm Adriana Teodoro-Dier. I'm a spiritual medium and intuitive reader, your guide to a higher and clearer perspective. I have a message for Sagittarius today. This is a guided and channeled message from the other side, from spirit and from my guides. And let's see. Oh, I wanted to tell you, I'm asking for messages of awareness this week. Asking for information to make you aware of the things you need to be aware of. So let's see where the cards want to take you. Starting with the Prince of Cups, very interesting. So this is coming through as a softer kind of mystical, like mossy kind of energy. I know there's moss on the card, but this is not coming through as a strong energy that demands your attention. This is a quieter, gentler, sweeter kind of energy. But this is definitely an energy that's seeking something. And I think we'll get some more clarity on that in a second. But this is more subtle. This is not out in your face. This is not like hitting you over the head, trying to get your attention. This is a more subtle energy. So interesting. We've got the King of Pentacles on the other side. So what I'm feeling with the two of these kind of together and actually at odds a little bit back to back is we're talking about something that's not, it's almost like a dream that's not allowed to come into reality. Something where this space of the heart and the fantasy, and that doesn't allow, it's not touching the real world enough. And it's almost as if the real world doesn't have a space for it. So, yeah. This is a little bit odd. Whatever he's seeking for just doesn't have a place in this world that's already been established. And what I find very interesting about these two cards, especially in this deck, is how very different they are. This guy's surrounded by all the creature comforts, all the wealth, all the material wealth. This one is a bit of a contradiction. He's a knight, but he doesn't have his armor on his feet. You know, we can't see his weapon. We can't see his sword. So he's definitely more of a questing knight than he is a practical kind of knight. So we're having a little bit of tension between dreams and reality, practicality and fantasy happening. Not drawing any conclusions yet, but let's see where we're going with the cards. 5 of Cups. So coming through as sorrow. 8 of Cups, leaving that sorrow. And then Princess of Swords. Okay. Yeah, this is really an interesting reading, Sagittarius. I have to say, the cards look beautiful together, don't they? It's so beautiful in purple. Now, there's something about these two cards together. I've never seen them together in this fashion, where the colors are kind of flowing into each other. You see all her throat and everything up here, so all these chakras, she's got all those colors, and then this one has that blue healing as well as purple and blue. So I feel like these are either she goes on this journey, she becomes this figure, or these are two aspects of yourself that go on this journey. The Princess of Swords is kind of made up her mind, which is funny because I don't feel like this card often makes up its mind, but she's made up her mind to go on this journey where this 8 of Cups is headed. So she's leaving behind things that aren't very practical, or aren't, not that they're not very practical, they're not familiar. Hang on. Sorry, Mercury's getting the better of me today. She's leaving behind things that are familiar to her, relationships perhaps that are familiar to her, but she's searching, she wants to search for something deeper. We've got that questing idea again. She's wanting to search for something deeper that's spiritually more satisfying than what she's maybe finding on the surface. Now, the 8 of Cups leaves certain things behind, makes sacrifices in a way, and goes up to the top of this hill. And at the top of this hill, we encounter the 5 of Cups. Now, this is also a moment of emotional transformation, Sagittarius, because he's looking at, there's a little otter chasing a salmon, and that is part of a bigger story of the gaining of wisdom, of what happens when we're able to meld our feminine and our masculine sides together. This is part of that transformation. There is a loss of one in order to strengthen the other. It feels like a loss. But what you're actually doing is encountering the masculine and the feminine in a way that they complement each other within you. And that's those two cups back here. That those represent the feminine and the masculine in perfect balance. And so now I finally understand where we're going. When we look here, this is a very masculine aspect, and this is a very feminine aspect. But funnily enough, this one is pentacles, which is earth. This one is cups, which is also earth. Those are more feminine elements. They're more bound by gravity. They go downward. And they're more associated with that receptive feminine energy. So what's happening now is that your feminine energy is actually being transformed. The practical is beginning to start to accept and meld with the ideals that are in the true heart. And the seeking is going to cease being outside of you, and it's going to turn itself inward, so that you understand that whatever ideal you're seeking out here can be found and nourished and met within you in here. That's our King of Pentacles. He's got everything he needs to help you heal. And once that seeking then becomes an inward desire, an inward fulfillment, then we cease to have the separation between the masculine and feminine. We cease to have the separation, and you start to have wholeness again. And I want to draw one more card just to kind of tie this up, wrap it up. They're saying from the middle, so okay. And we've got the Hermit. And what does the Hermit do? He penetrates that inner landscape. He looks in that inner landscape, looking for wisdom, looking for truth. It's almost like he's trawling the inner landscape for pearls or for things that need your attention. So this is helping you navigate that inner feminine landscape that really talks to you about what you truly desire and talks to you about what you want. And then it's the masculine energy, the Hermit's job, to take that desire up into the world and figure out how to make it happen. So, I'm sorry, Sagittarius, we've gone so many places. I'm trying to see how I can wrap this up for you. These two feminine aspects, even though they're appearing masculine, these two feminine aspects are those impulses, those creative and those heartfelt desires that sometimes you're just not sure how to reconcile the practical with the ideal. You're not sure how to bring those together. So this is about understanding that all those questions need to be continually directed inside, so that this Hermit can figure out exactly where you need to be looking. Because this is kind of the idea that you've got a lot of different things going on, a lot of scattered energy, and the Hermit wants to fixate, wants to help you focus on one thing that you can bring out into the world again. So questions about that, please let me know. I know that was an interesting journey we went on. So if you need some clarity beyond what I've just said in the video, please let me know. Also, please consider liking or subscribing if you haven't already. Always great to have more people who love to learn on this channel. So I also invite you to check out my website, trueguidancetarot.com. There are other offerings on there if you need some personal one-on-one guidance. That might be a great place to start. So I will look forward to seeing you next week, and have a great week.